What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Happy late new year. It's been a while since I've uploaded anything. It's just, honestly, it's been due to lack of motivation. I had to sell a bike that I was riding all the time just because it was a really bad fit for me and I was actually getting hurt on it. So to avoid that, I sold the bike to someone that would fit better, and I jumped on my old bike, which surprisingly, my old bike, when I first got it, it didn't fit me well, but now it actually fits me better because my flexibility has actually improved a whole lot. So yeah, crazy stuff. But that one's got old parts. I'm waiting on the parts to come in. Again, it's like the whole waiting thing's kind of got me like, motivated. The waiting of parts has made me less motivated, but today I got an update that they'll be coming in soon. So I was like, you know what, like I'm trying to kind of just keep it going. So yeah, I'm gonna make a video. So here we are. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick update on the Bell Falcon because there is an update on this thing. It's not too good, but I'm gonna keep it short and to the point on this one. The main focus is gonna be this one over here, the Bell Stratus, which is the big brother to this one. This one looks a whole lot like this one. It's just very minor differences here and there. And two other things. One, I will be wearing these so that way you guys can see what they look like, and two, I will be weighing them out so you guys can see the weight difference between them. So let's jump into it. All right, so Bell Falcon, main update. If you're looking for parts, this one is basically, from my understanding from the representatives I've spoken over at Bell, by the way, everyone over there is really cool. It's basically going to be discontinued. You cannot buy the parts for this, and what I mean by parts is mainly the foam pieces. That's the stuff that's going to deteriorate over time, right? I was trying to get one because obviously mine's kind of like falling apart and I can't get it. They don't have it anymore from my understanding, and they won't be bringing them back anymore. So this one looks like it's obsolete. One thing I did not like about this helmet in the end was the sweat guide on this one. There's more foam in the sweat guide than in the forehead. If the sweat guide had probably a little less, I could live with that if it was more in the forehead, just because it would make it a little more comfortable and probably a little more snug. But it is what it is. It does work. It's just that over time, if you don't push on this thing, your sweat will fall into your eyes. But the other thing, and this is like super annoying, is that as it falls apart and you haven't replaced it, right, the wind, when it hits it, because there's this part of the mold does not really cover the sweat guide, it kind of begins to flap all over the place and it will eventually kind of just like flop down. The last thing that I did not mention in the other video is that this does have a vertical adjustment, and the way you do that is you basically just kind of grab the plastic here and you kind of just wiggle it around and it will eventually move. You just kind of have to wiggle it. Let's see. It will clip in. There you go. So it clips into 4 different places: 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can adjust this to your liking. And then to pull it down, you just obviously pull it and it clicks back into place. So if you are planning on buying the helmet, I would say buy it cheap. If it's expensive, like 60, 70 bucks, not worth it. Hold on your money and probably buy the next helmet I'll show you, or a different helmet, maybe something else, but not this one if it's really pricey. So let me show you guys what this looks like on my head. See how it holds. And let me just go ahead and show you guys how much this thing weighs. I finally got a scale here. Super useful. I didn't realize that until afterwards, so you'll be seeing a lot more of this thing. But let me go ahead and refocus this thing and show you guys how much this thing weighs. So 301 grams. Not the lightest in the world, but not the heaviest. So that's pretty much it for this one. So let's go ahead and just push this one off to the side and let me show you guys the Bell Stratus. Alright, so here is the Bell Stratus. Again, this looks a lot like the Bell Falcon. It does have 18 vent holes all the way around. See here. The main difference or the main difference is between this one and the Falcon is that here on the front, what I was talking about in the Falcon, the mold actually does come down more. The other thing that I really like about this is, besides that, is that the temples are actually molded a little closer in, and the foam is actually thicker around the forehead. The sweat guide is actually a bit smaller. So yeah, also the mold kind of goes around the sweat guide, so if wind starts to hit you here, it doesn't really get into that sweat guide, so it doesn't make it flap around all over the place. The other thing is that this one also has that vertical adjustment, and this one's a little easier to adjust. You can just kind of, let me see if I can refocus this thing. All right, so you can just kind of pull it, push up. This is a newer helmet. I did get this right before I sold my bike. So yeah, this one works a little better. The buckle system is exactly the same as the Falcon. Nothing crazy, nothing too special, same. Little rubber strap for your slack here. The tri-glides are exactly the same as the Falcon, nothing too special. You can always adjust these up and down or slightly to the side. I had to adjust mine slightly to the side because the way that the straps are now on this helmet is that this strap is actually a little closer to your to the side of your temple, where this little end section here and the angle it's going, it might hit your ear, so you have to kind of adjust this a little bit. Not a deal breaker though. I actually don't mind it. I adjusted mine and mine works just fine. In terms of differences, so you can tell here, design on the Stratus, this whole section is enclosed. The vent holes are actually kind of a bit more narrow on the Stratus than they are on the Falcon. Falcon is just kind of really wide and open. Here, this is actually an open piece of like mold plastic. This one is enclosed. The sides here obviously look a bit nicer on the Stratus than they do on the Falcon. Here is the back. This one just looks a little nicer. It also has a nice little black accent here. Kind of useless really, but you know, whatever. It's not a big deal. Let's see here, this just kind of looks like a big piece of mold. This one they actually molded it really nicely. And the last thing is that the Falcon has a slight kick up on the back. So for mounts that can be a problem. On this one, on the Stratus, it's actually a bit more flat. Not a whole lot, but it is flatter for sure. The last thing actually is that the Stratus has a bit more of like a kick upwards. As you can see here, it's got more of an oval shape to it, like an egg at the top. That might be a deal breaker for some. For me personally, I don't mind it. It's okay. It actually, you know, it took me a second to kind of get used to it, but over time, it's like it didn't really bother me anymore. As opposed to the Falcon, the Falcon has this sort of like kind of a flat, you know, more circular shape to it on the top, but this thing does kind of fit your head more like a disc than the Stratus, just because of that temple mold. Again, let's see if we can kind of put these side to side. So this one is just kind of more circular, and on here, let's see if I can remove the strap. You kind of see it's a bit more narrow here, just right in here. And I did kind of measure this from the temples to here. It actually narrows out about 10 to 15 mil, give or take. On this one, it's kind of almost the same all the way around, except like about here it probably goes down maybe like, you know, 10 mil, give or take, between the temples. But yeah, on this one, it's just a snug fit, or a snugger fit for sure. So really convenient, and it fits better. So yeah, quality wise, it's definitely a bit better. I did pay about like 85, almost 90 bucks for this helmet. So it's crazy is that I paid almost the same price for this one as I did for the Falcon when I first got it a while back. But I would say that this one's worth, you know, the money, just for the fact that the Falcon's no longer being made. And I think this one's kind of gonna take the place of the Falcon. Let me go ahead and show you guys what this looks like on my head, and I'll do a shake test on this one as well. Go ahead and do that. And last but not least, go ahead and bring out the scale. Show you guys how much this weighs. Oh, before I weigh it, I did weigh this little mount out, and this weighs 11 grams. So I'll just be subtracting 11 grams from the total amount that we see here. So 310. Okay, so we'll say 310 minus 11. That's 299. So this and the Falcon weigh almost identical. They almost weigh the same. 2 gram difference. One thing I will say with both this one and the Falcon is that if you do have a camera on this, and let's say it's like a GoPro Hero 7, an 8, an older one, a 6 for example, that size of a camera, you will feel the difference in weight on this helmet. If you have a small one, like probably like a Polaroid Cube or the square GoPro camera, those are a little smaller and lighter, you probably won't notice the difference. But the bigger the camera, obviously the more weight that's going to be on here, you're for sure going to feel that. I know exactly how that feels because my camera's kind of big. It's almost like 100 grams or something, so I feel the weight on this, but I've kind of gotten used to it now. But it has been a while since I've ridden, so I'll probably have to get reaccustomed to it. That's pretty much it. That's all I got for you guys. I hope you guys, you know, enjoy the videos. I do want to come out with more stuff, and then there will be more stuff coming up pretty soon. I just need to kind of work out some details with all that. But if you guys have any questions or comments, just go ahead and, you know, drop them down below, and I'll make sure that, you know, I try to reply to each and every single one. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Thank you guys for watching.